Today's podcast is brought to you by Smart Deploy, allowing IT to deploy one golden image to any hardware anytime. Check out smartdeploy.com/FRD for a free offer worth $570, not pesos, where Paul Thurrott is hanging out.
How you doing?
Paul, I have breaking news, though.
Okay.
Have you noticed?
Yep, it is correctly positioned.
You know how I did it?
Microsoft Paint.
This is PowerPoint.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not just properly positioned. It's actually full screen.
It's full screen. Yes, full screen.
Right. Gotcha.
So,
Okay. Good for you. Okay.
yes, look at that. It is full screen. Now I
You
do
know,
have
if
to.
we could calculate the amount of time we've spent, not just you and I, but everybody. Am I okay?
Well, yeah, no, I clicked the wrong button and then PowerPoint closed.
Oh, okay. Working to fix problems caused by technology.
Mm-hmm.
We would have the gross domestic product of one of the biggest countries on earth.
I think there's a couple careers aligned to that called IT pros. We serve them diligently over on the Petri side.
Jerry Purnell used to say, "I make mistakes so you don't have to," and I just say, "I make mistakes." You know, I've made mistakes. What can I tell you?
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing you can't. I was trying to transition into some sort of joke of Google is building an entire campus just for hardware. Which, let me tell you, Google's really known for their hardware. And
how long do you think it is before they abandon the campus?
Wow.
Too soon.
Well, they haven't given up on Stadia yet, so I lost that bet.
Also, Nest is probably a pretty decent business. Right?
Actually, I bet it. I mean, I have a bunch of their hardware, so I guess they get money from me on an annual basis.
I want them to continue with Pixel, but I mean, even if they just did Nest, I think it would make sense.
Mm-hmm. So Paul Thurrott is sitting, what was right before this, I'm assuming a church nearby, although like outside the U.S., well, even in the U.S., I guess.
It's 9:32 here as we record this, which means that a church bell could go off at any second because church bells apparently go off here randomly. I think that's part of the culture. Brett, I don't know how much time you have, and I can't spill this whole story here. I will write about this, like a what I use article or whatever. But I had quite an adventure here. Some of which you might have seen if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Some of which you have not. So, for example, we had a harrowing 4-hour drive from. Well, I already talked about that, from Mexico City to here, and the middle 90% was fantastic. The end points were terrible, and Airbnb is really nice. It's really out of the way. They promised on-premises parking. The parking is approximately a 30-minute walk away, actually. So there's that, and we're not big fans of Airbnb as it is, but anyway, whatever. I don't know if you've ever seen those air conditioners. They're like kind of rectangular, and they kind of mount in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I've never used one. I've seen them before from like House Hunters International. They seem to be big in different like non-American locations, maybe in Florida too. I don't know, but it's just for the room. And there's one next to our bed. And I heard like it was making dripping sounds, and my laptop bag was right under it. I examined it, and it seemed like it was in the wall, And so I was like, maybe this is how these things work. I don't know. The mistake I made, alluding to my earlier comment, was I put my laptop bag back under it, and then when I woke up in the morning, my laptop bag was soaking wet top to bottom, and everything inside of it was soaking wet top to bottom, including 2 laptops, a phone, my Bose earbuds, my passports, my vaccine card, which, as you know, is paper, and so on. And so vaccine card's fine, thank God. One of my laptops wouldn't turn on. It's the one running Windows 11. It's the Dragonfly Elite or Max or whatever it's called. I recently reviewed. It would not come on, and I'll just detail all this stuff later. It eventually did come on. It's water, but something's still wrong with it. The battery won't charge all the way. Blah blah blah. Whatever that. So there's that. Fantastic. AC's fixed. I don't know what happened. Whatever. I put my bag inside out to dry it out on the. It's fine. Everything's fine, I guess. So then we were going to go on a overnight trip to Guanajuato, which is about a 90-minute drive from here. Walk the 30 minutes over to the car. Has a flat tire. Called the company. We paid for full insurance, in Mexico. They're going to send a guy. The guy is in a city called Lyon, which is 2.5 hours from here.
Oh, I would have guessed Paris or France.
Yeah, right. Leon.
Oh,
Yeah. So, um, took him 4 hours to get there. In the meantime, we repaired the. Oh, I'm sorry. We were going to get it fixed, right? The guys at the parking place were fantastic. They changed the tire. We're going to put the spare on. The spare was one of those little numbnut things that isn't full sized, and it had 4 lug nut holes, and the wheel has 5 lug nuts. So they sent the guy from Lyon. Took him 4 hours to get here. He swapped it out for a new tire, so we could use the repaired tire, which, by the way, it's Mexico. It cost, I think, $2.50 to something like that, $3 maybe to fix it. It was crazy. A little screw. Anyway, okay. That was day 2. That was the second problem, and then we went to Guanajuato much later than expected, and that was fine. Drove back. That was fine, and got up this morning and the internet doesn't work. So I'm in this cafe. I should probably cut this short if there's someone else here, but anyway, it's been that kind of thing. But whatever. I mean, honestly, it all kind of worked out. We actually got to see the place we went to go visit. It was fine, but it's just been like I said to Stephanie, I mean, like we've been in home swaps for like 15 years, so we've had minor things happen, but nothing major. And I feel like maybe our luck has run out.
I couldn't find it fast enough, but you actually have a pretty rich history of water in bags. I believe it was at Build. I think it was Build or Ignite, one of them. I have a picture of you somewhere where one of your water bottles dumped out inside of your backpack, and you have all your stuff like splayed across the ground. And rather than helping you, I just sat there and documented the adventure.
Yeah. Right. I didn't take any pictures of the bag. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So.
Well, if you needed to deploy images to those devices because you got to bring them back up, a message from our friend over at Smart Deploy might be able to help you out. Smart Deploy makes it easy to manage hundreds or thousands of endpoints on any version of Windows anywhere. It's faster and more reliable than Symantec Ghost, MDT, or Acronis Snap Deploy. Head on over to smartdeploy.com/FRD to get started with your free exclusive software worth over $570. Look at that. That was giving myself an A+ for that transition.
It was good.
Yeah,
it was good.
It really was.
It's like playing cards, Brad. You're handed a certain deck, a certain selection of cards, and you got to play them.
You do. I will say that you wrote your Windows 11 feature focus on the start, and which is fine. There's nothing wrong with the post, but it did just a lot of people were very interested in it, which honestly I was a little surprised. But
literally just commented on that to my wife.
Yeah.
Because again, we had to go figure out a place to get connected, right? So, everything kind of comes up late, and I'm looking at the site. Posted a couple things, and I'm like, 69. Like, what could anyone have to say about this?
Yeah.
So I'll look at that later, but or soon. I don't know. I mean, I think what that probably says is that this is somewhat controversial, and that Microsoft, if you think about what they're trying to do in Windows 11, the start menu is emblematic of all of it, right?
Yes. Yep.
We're going to cut down on existing functionality, simplify it, make it prettier. They made some bad decisions, The layout stuff is wrong. The bottom section, which should be recent, not recommended, is wrong. Objectively wrong, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what that's all about. I'll have to go see. But, like I said, I've said this before. I mean, I feel like as a power users, the people, us and people listening to this, watching this, whatever, we're going to have to just adapt. I don't know what to say, unless they give us an option to, go back to the old way,
Yeah, which I don't think they're. I mean, the only old way that you can get is just taking that button and moving it to the left, but you don't get the new menu.
Well, that's what I mean. Well, maybe that changes. But the other thing to think about is that you could use Windows 10, obviously, for some number of years. Mm-hmm. It is very likely, and we know Microsoft well enough to know that they will probably start adding stuff back over time based on feedback.
Sure.
So that in a year or 2 years or whatever, it will probably be,
they've got to have marketing moments, right? They've got to be next year. It's like, look, we added, I don't know, something to start, and that's this update. We'll call it the creators update, where you can create your own start menu. I don't know.
Please don't call it that.
So, anyways, a little bit later start to the day. It looks like you got beautiful weather there, though, at least.
It is, yeah, gorgeous today. Yeah, it's really nice. I don't know if you can tell. I mean, it's kind of blown out, I guess. It's nice.
Actually, it almost sort of looks like a fake background, to be honest. Like, except for when you move your head, it's not all pixelated. But
yeah, it's not. It's not fake.
Hilariously, it's about as high def as when you are at home. So just proving once again.
And I'm using the laptop with the lesser webcam. The waterlogged one that's broken now, I brought specifically because it has the 5 megapixel webcam. Yeah.
Well, interesting. So there's a problem. I'm trying to do like the snap thingy in Windows 10 where I have like PowerPoint on one, but stuff on the other, and it doesn't work all that well. Like having side-by-side screens down here, PowerPoint up here.
Well, you know what, Brad? This is what I was talking about earlier. It's you investing more time to fix problems that you had with technology that aren't your fault. Right?
I'm trying desperately to get the Smart Display back up there, but then I need to make sure I have the proper scripting in front of me. So, like, it's so close, Windows. It's so...
That should be the tagline for Windows. Windows 11. It's so close.
It is. But if you do need a flexible IT solution for the modern workplace, make sure to check out Smart Display. Go to smartdeploy.com/FRD or check the links for descriptions in this podcast for more information. I don't know what I'm doing with my hand, but we will catch all of you back here hopefully tomorrow.
Hopefully. Unless I get another flat tire.